Get ready for the most glamorous event of the year, the U2B Streets Awards 2025, February 9, 2025, at Lenon Midtown, located at 641 West 42nd Street, New York City. Join us at 12 p.m. for the pre-show red carpet extravaganza and a chance to win $500 in our fashion contest. From 2 p.m. to 4 p.m., enjoy the gold tier experience with speakeasy confessionals, press interviews, and premium cocktails. At 4 p.m., the platinum tier includes performances, a comedic host, an award ceremony, dinner, and gift bags. From 8 p.m., the diamond tier features a VIP after party with a DJ, aerial dance, fire performances, and gift bags. 24 YouTube categories and many nominees. Can't attend in person? Stream the entire event live on Hush and Move Media via Uscreen for just $9.99. Get your early bird tickets before September 15, 2024. Visit now. Be a sponsor. Be extraordinary. Be there. Be great.
Yo, what it do? Once again, this is We-On-Loc Nation. Now, listen, I know I said I was going to be taking a little small break, but I couldn't have missed this opportunity because emotions run extremely high, right? Emotions are running extremely high. Oh, my neck hurts. And we delve into our emotional bag and we get all upset, and you know how black people are when it comes to election time. So at this particular time, Umar's on a relatively nice, decent radio program, right? Just you just gotta take the good and the bad with everything. And like they want to know is like who should be voting for? Should we be voting for Trump? Should we be voting for Kamala Harris? And they're giving in the specifics why this and why that. Me, I have no dog in that fight because I'm not voting for neither or. However, I am going to be voting Dark Light Provide. But I'm going to be voting for neither or. What I am going to do is I'm going to be going to each and every single of my local parties, and I am going to see who is going to be relevant in this situation when I do go vote and who is not going to be relevant. That's my position. That is going to be my job. But when it comes to specific people coming from the Umar sector, aka the AFW sector, oh my God. Lenon, stop. Just stop. Just stop. I mean, your fan base is dying, bro. You too old to be doing this type of shit. I mean, I get it. You need the money. You need the money. But as soon as you come on, it's pretty much dead, bro. You ain't got nothing, nata, not even a quarter of your receipts is just it's non-updated receipts. Non-updated receipts. Ain't it time for you to do something a little bit constructive? Ain't it about time for you to go after? I don't know. Look up, Corey. I mean, you even said it in your live. Is you're not into politics. Yeah. What makes the difference if they're black if Donald Trump is white and blah 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 blah? And it's like it makes a bit of a difference, asshole. It makes a bit of a difference. But say you being half black rotating to your white side like you did so many years ago, saying that kids play loud music and people talk down to each other, blah, 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 blah. But you, the destructive one, you've been going after Umar for what, 19 years now? 19, 20 years. You've been riding his thing hard like a mother, Paul. You've been riding a little too hard. I think it's time to collect. And if I was Umar, I would still sue you for slander, though. I would still sue you for slander. But I ain't got long, but let's get into why we are here today. It's so sad. It's so sad, by the way, as it pertains to Lenon. You know, talking about he doesn't have any place to live. How the hell do you know? I'm trying not to cuss. How the hell do you know where he lives and where he was? Like, again, you riding on him like a sailor. You riding him coast to coast like a sailor. Want to know about what type of cell phone he got? Want to know what type of where he broke, he this, he that, what type of car he driving? It's like, where are we going with this? Yo, stick to your wife, bro. That's some girly type shit. What type of car you drive? Where you live? Where you from? You ain't no Pan-African. You sound like a little girl. Let me reiterate. You sound like a bitch. You sound like a big bitch. A light-skinned, no hair having ass bitch. That's what you is. I can't believe we're still, after 19 years, it's like you have nothing else better to do. And all your followers are a bunch of replicas, a bunch of bots. Your followers are a bunch of bots. And even if so that you borrowing from AAS, Anti-Afro Spengali, which is still poking around somewhere. I don't know. I don't care for her, and I don't care for you either. But it's about time to stop, because when I come back, I'm coming after all Umarian haters. All of yous. All of yous. Now let's get into what we're here today. I hate when this happens.
Guys, if you're looking for a school that is 100% online, offers low-cost tuition, and has over 130
American African people, why then are we emotionally rallying our people up to be exploited once again?
Hey, we didn't lose you, did we?
No, it's frozen.
Okay, well, we got to take a break. But I don't know if it's frozen, if he can hear me or not. So let me take the break.
Yeah.
And come back, and hopefully he'll be back with
I can hear you. All right. I'm live and direct from Eastern Michigan University, Ypsilanti, Michigan, about 30 minutes from Detroit, where I keynoted the Black Consciousness Conference yesterday and the day before.
Okay. What was your message?
My message was solidarity. My message was don't be emotionally co-opted by either presidential candidate. It is not enough to vote for Donald Trump because he is talking about doing something economically for African people. Let us remind ourselves that while he was president for 4 years, he did very little, if anything at all, economically for African people. He didn't start talking about a platinum package.
I know, and he ain't gonna stop. He's not going to stop because he has nothing else to go on. He knows damn well he wouldn't do Tariq Nasheed that way, this way. Oh no, his shit, his the only thing that would be relevant would be his little accordion. And nobody wants that piece of shit accordion. Let's get into it.
Until it was time to run again for a second term against then former Vice President Joe Biden. And so now he's talking about economics, but you had 4 years in office. At the conclusion of the George Floyd protest for justice, Donald Trump passed the historic Hispanic Prosperity Initiative. Why are you passing a Hispanic Prosperity Initiative at the end of the George Floyd protest? Where was the American African Prosperity Initiative? And on the other side of the aisle, with our Asian American, South Asian American, occasionally Black candidate Kamala Harris, she sat in the White House with President Biden for 4 years and watched him pass an anti-Asian hate bill. She watched him pass an anti-transgender hate bill. She watched him give billions of dollars to Ukraine and Afghanistan. She watched him purge and gentrify Black people out of Chicago and New York, among other cities, because we now know that there are migrant crises growing in other cities, and she did nothing. And this is.
And another thing, Lenon ought to be all up in his feelings about what Umar is usually talking about. And I would ask the question, I would ask a simple question. What do you do, Lenon Otter, to uplift your community other than just words and babble, other than to accuse Umar of holding other people accountable when it comes to your choices about electing people? It has nothing to do with anything else, has nothing to do with school, has nothing to do with if he was smoking dope or not, which he's not. Again, slander. It has nothing to do with either or. It has something to do about this election, because this election is very important, isn't it not? So the only thing that you got to go on is his words. When he says the word, she's saying the word Negro again. That's, you know, why can't he be nice? Oh, why can't he be nice? We got a super chat in the building. Dude, you're worthless. You're a piece of shit. You need to be flushed down the fucking toilet somewhere.
Because after she said on an interview that she can't do anything just for Black people. Well, if you can't do anything just for Black people, Vice President Harris, how was it possible? Excuse me, how is it possible for you guys to do something just for gays, just for Asians, just for Native Americans, just for migrants? Complete contradiction.
And then he paused the thing again, talking about Lenon Otter. He paused thinking, you talk about the gays. Oh, he has no shame. He talking about gay. Is that the only thing that he talked about? And if that's your point of reference, if that is where you're going to be going by, could it be that you might have a soft position about gay people? Maybe you do have a soft side. I mean, you did say verbatim that I don't care if my kids, you know, gay. I don't give a shit. So you're gonna teach your kids. It's okay to be gay. I loved you anyway. I'd love you. I'd love you if you're getting poo hole plucked. I'm gonna love you because it doesn't matter if you're black or white. You are a joke. If you believe in gays, you believe in transgender, you piece of shit. So it's basically okay for a transgender to go, a biological man who dresses up as a woman to go into your daughter's bathroom. You piece of shit. So it's okay for a biological woman who's dressing up as a man to go into your son's bathroom and possibly him yell out rape, even though he's a man. You piece of shit. I don't care if it's gay. Why do we entertain people like you? I just don't know why.
And so for me, at this point right now, with 3 months to go until the November 5th election, Baba David, I don't have a reason to vote for either of them.
Okay, but well, you won't vote for either, but a no vote for her, isn't that like a vote for him?
I completely disagree, because even if a no vote is a no vote, it doesn't go to either candidate. Now, if no vote went to Donald Trump, then
Bubba need to turn his mic down just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I could understand the mathematical assessment, but a no vote is a no vote. So it doesn't go.
I'm thinking about mathematically. Let's say we have 7 million voters. 350 million want to vote for Donald Trump, but
Yes.
250 million say, well, I'm not going to vote at all. So that 350 million would still go to him, and the other votes would not even be counted. And that's what I meant by a no vote is a vote for him. But then we take away somebody else going to vote for him.
I hear what you question. Here's my question. Here's my question, Baba.
Yes.
Whether a no vote for Kamala Harris goes to former President Trump or not, here's my question to the American African community. What have we been promised from Vice President Kamala Harris that would require us to vote? What have we been promised from former President Trump that would require us to vote? What I see going on, Baba David, is I am seeing dysfunctional identity politics where Black people, many of whom claim that mixed race Africans are not Black, but the same Negroes who will say that mixed race Africans are not Black will call Kamala Harris Black. So make up your mind. And she's not even 50%. She don't have a Black parent. She has a mixed race parent.
Hold on. I want to say.
Hold on, Baba. She has a mixed race parent.
Okay.
Her father is half Jamaican African. She is a quadroon. She is 1/4 Black. Here's the point that I'm making. For those who are into identity politics, she doesn't meet the criteria of being Black by many of their standards. So I'm hearing Black people say I'm going to vote for her just because she's Black. But according to many American Africans' definition of being Black, because many of us reject mixed race, I don't. I'm a Pan-Africanist, I don't. But many of them reject mixed race Africans, but they're qualifying Kamala Harris because they need to believe in her so badly. Here's my last point, Baba David. There's been 14 presidential elections since Dr. King's assassination. 14 presidential election cycles since 1968. Can you please name the one that benefited Black people? And if we cannot name the election cycle out of the past 14 presidential elections since Dr. King's assassination, if we can't name the presidential administration that changed something systemically for the American African people, why then are we emotionally rallying our people up to be exploited once again?
And I definitely hear what Doc is saying, and I'm not emotionally charged at all. What I am is I'm concerned for a lot of people who are going to be pretty soon victimized if they end up picking the wrong candidate. And like I said, I'm not either for or. I'm just going to look at it like this. If you believe that Donald Trump is going to set this party off by stacking the numbers for black and white people. Mexicans not so much, because he doesn't like Mexicans too much, right? Increase weight, or I assume he's going to increase wages. Let's just keep it just keep it right there. Create jobs for black people, create jobs for Americans. And what he claims to be quote unquote Americans, he's talking about Americans like you and I, black and white people, not for anybody else who comes into the country freely. He's not talking about those people. As a matter of fact, he condemns the people, he condemns the gays, he condemns all that. If you believe he's going to increase jobs, increase wages, lower the cost of everything, including food, water, gas, and whatever else, then you go ahead and vote for him. I often ask, what does he want to return? Now let's go to the other side. When it comes to Kamala Harris, I don't know her policies. I really don't know this woman's policies. To be honest to God with you, I don't know this woman's policies. I only go by her track record as a prosecutor in California. That's the only thing that I know. And what she has done, she has locked up a lot of black people, and it is self-proven. I've gone through I gave the tapes. I've gone through the receipts. I gave them to y'all. It's your turn to choose. But if you think that she is going to change lives by bringing Meg Thee Stallion up there and shaking a little booty and having Quavo speak his speech versus Hollywood Hulk Hogan, who flexes his little steroid muscles, and having bald-headed ass, what's her name again? Amber Rose, up there and tell you the truth. Go ahead with your gut feeling. Here's my final thing. My final thing. Organizing ain't such a bad thing. Organizing to me is gathering around, just like the rally. It's just gathering around a whole bunch of black people, whether you're light-skinned, dark-skinned. It doesn't really matter to me, as long as we agree in one accord on something. And if we agree on one accord on some things, then we can agree to hold the person that we pick for our next candidacy accountable. If we can save our little pennies, and if we save our little pennies, we can give our list of demands of what we want, what we expect. It's that simple, y'all. It's that damn simple.
We didn't lose you, did we?
No, it's rolling.
Okay, well, we got to take a break. But I don't know if he's frozen, if he can hear me. So does that mean that he's not black?
I will come back to that.
Bob Marley was an African Baba. He had a black mother. Kamala Harris doesn't have a black mother. She has a mixed race father.
Oh, so
she is not mixed race. So what
female lineage?
The quadroon.
So
quadroon is one.
Okay, we got to take a break.
For me, it don't matter. Okay, Bob.
Okay, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, I don't know why I got this echo. Can we do something about that, Nicholas?
Well, we're going to take a break and see what we can do when we get back. David Barnes, photo man for you too, and I'm your host on this Dr. Umar Ifatunde Johnson edition of New World View. So, Dr. Johnson, I hear my echo is gone. Nicholas told me what I needed to do, and now I can hear you clear, and I hear myself twice. So, what I wanted to say is, and Patrick had a question for you as well. Do you believe in voting or just not voting for president?
I believe in voting when I have a reason to vote.
Okay, that's good.
That my vote is so important and valuable to me. I do not wasted. I don't vote because I can. I would liken that to walking into a supermarket and buying stuff just because you have money. Who walks into a Galleria mall and starts buying things just because they have a credit card, just because they have a checkbook, just because they have money? I think we would call that the definition of insanity.
Or impulse
telling
buying.
Black people just because they can, to me, is ridiculousness. And we also have to keep in mind as well, Baba David, that the main strategy used to influence Black people to vote is fear. That is how they get Black people out to vote. The number one propaganda point that you hear being pushed by the Democratic Party plantation slaves is if you don't vote for Kamala Harris, Trump will win. That's not a reason to vote. I'm going to vote because
There are 15 new jobs added to Indeed every second. So how do you...
Kamala Harris has promised to build industries in the Black community that is going to give our people jobs, so our young men can stop killing each other in the name of crime and financial desperation. I'm going to vote for Kamala Harris because she's going to pass legislation to deal with the femicide in our Black community. Everything from sexual trafficking, everything to the brutality and slaughter of defenseless Black women, to the amount of Black women who are dying while they're trying to give birth to their children, okay, as well as the high infant mortality rate, which is one of the highest in the developed world. I'm going to vote for Kamala Harris because she promises to radically transform and reconstruct the special education to prison pipeline. In other words, I will gladly cast the vote for Kamala Harris, or I will gladly cast the vote for former President Trump if they give me some food on my plate. But to ask me to sit down and give me a fork and a spoon and act like I'm enjoying a meal when there's no food on my plate is absolutely insanity. Give me a reason to vote. I do not vote because I can, and I will not vote out of fear.
But also you mentioned,
And the one important thing that everybody's harking on is reparations. I didn't hear nobody, unless I'm wrong, unless somebody can tell me, I didn't hear nobody say anything about reparations. I didn't hear Kamala Harris utter anything about reparations. I didn't, other than her saying, I'm just not going to do anything for Black people. No. So I know she's out. And him and his tax, none of those people are going to give you reparations, y'all. They're not going to give you reparations unless there is organizing to be had. Going back to that, it's just so reputable. It's just so needed in our community. Otherwise, we're just plants. We're just plants that everybody can pick on just because we're there. And they can do with us whatever they want to do. But when it comes to the Asians, we're not allowed to speak on certain Asians. We're not allowed to speak on certain Jews. We're not allowed to speak on certain Chinese or Arabs or whoever. We're not allowed to say certain things about white folks. But they can pick on Black people all day, every day, because truth be told, you want to get picked on by the bully. And you know who this bully is? The rights and the left are the wings of the same damn freaking fowl. So I ask you, who are you voting for?
about the strategy and the plan, the propaganda, I would be one to believe that part of the propaganda would be to try to convince Black people, don't come out and vote, just stay home and vote. Ain't gonna do you no good. And then a lot of Black people will follow that propaganda and won't come out and vote. I believe the turnout numbers are already so low.
Bobby David, we got to go back to the point. But Bobby David, what are they voting for? You still haven't given me a reason. What are they voting for Kamala Harris for? You understand what I'm saying? You can't just say vote for her, because we don't like Trump. That's fair politics. Mm-hmm. That's fair politics. What has Joe Biden did for black people?
What
that
has
was so
any
much
of them
better than
done?
Donald
Ain't
Trump?
none of
What
them
did
done
Barack
nothing.
Obama do for black people?
Nothing.
That was so
None
much
of them
better
done
than
nothing
George
for
Bush.
us. They have none of them have done anything for us, and that is why I say
Thank you. So
but-
why are we voting then?
because
if
I think
we've had 14 presidential cycles, Baba David,
right.
and the past 57 years.
That's right.
14 presidential elections in 57 years, and nobody can tell me one systemic change that we've gotten from the red team or the blue team.
Because
See, what we got to understand is the left wing and the right wing, the red wing and the blue wing are still parts of the same bird that is doing all over Black America.
but still, if you look at it, if the turnout is only minimal, 20% turnout, somebody's going to win the election. So if we stay home, somebody's going to win. And if they convince them with their propaganda,
do we win, Baba David? But do we win, Baba David?
Okay. If that's the case, if we don't come out, we certainly can't win.
Will win. No.
Dr. Omar.
You're rationalizing your position by taking the negative. I'm asking you to rationalize your position by taking the positive.
Dr. Omar.
Black America gain by voting for either candidate.
What do we gain? If I'm trying to explain,
stop using fear mongering.
I'm not scared. I'm trying to legitimize my position. What I'm saying is that if we came out in numbers, we could elect whoever we wanted. When I was at WHAT,
it's not that simple. And I don't mean no disrespect to my elders, but some of us just need to get out of the way. I'm sorry. All the old tactics don't even work. It's 2024. Okay, let's just say you get 7 million people to come out to vote for who? What? It's all individualized. You got people who are going to vote for Trump. You got people going to vote for Kamala Harris, and you got people who are going to vote for independency. It's the same stuff. It's the same thing. What Umar is talking about is simply who will better suit, and it not necessarily there are better candidates out there. There are better candidates for the White House. We're just so used to the same crackers. We're just used to the same shit.
We were running a couple of African candidates right here in Philadelphia. Harry Masala, who is Ethiopian, and we was running Dr. Ulu Fadiyedi. He was running for judge. We thought that we had such a strong voice in the black community on WHAT. We just knew we was going to win those. But the black people didn't come out and vote. And the white people came out and voted for their candidate, and our candidate lost. So it's my position that if instead of trying to tell people they would come out and vote, I'm trying to tell people if all of us came out and voted, then we could get what we wanted.
Baba David, what was your candidate promising black people, or was this simply another useless identity vote because the candidate was black?
I would agree with that, because as I often say, we make no demands. We make no demands.
You can make demands, but with what money? You have no money. Oh, I'm sorry. You have money. You just spend it on dumb shit. Sorry. You spend it on useless things. I'm not necessarily talking about him, but you spend it on useless things. We are the most wealthiest people. We are the most wealthiest when it economically, but we're the most consumed. We're consumers. We are. Oh my! The amount of stuff that we spend on the day-to-day basis, and I'm not talking about groceries. I'm not talking about any of the other stuff that we need. I'm talking about the stuff that we don't need. TVs, electronics, video games, shit like that. Like, do you necessarily need those things? No, you don't. You're spending it on new microphones and putting them on your persons. You're going out and you're spending money necessarily not on a car that you relatively want and not what you need. I learned that lesson a long time ago. So I just say, I'll just, instead of just getting a newer model car, I can just stick with the older model car until that day arises when I make more money. And the only way I'm going to make more money is if I go vote for the people, and not only go vote, but organize, get a team together, get some things replically, I can't even say the word, replically done, and then go for who is going to be the best candidate for the job. Now, like I said, I think, and I reasonably smash it. We need a younger candidate, but that's just me. Donald Trump is 78 years old. Kamala Harris, I think it's what, 60? And not Donald Trump, but the president of, I'm blanking, but it doesn't matter. You want an 81-year-old man fumbling at the mouth because number one, he's senile, number two, he's old and can't even read the teleprompter correctly. You want the same thing for Donald Trump? Don't you think we need to think a little bit more higher in that regard? That's just me. Again, I'm just a regular YouTuber. I'm asking y'all, what do you think?
On the road with identity politics. I do not vote because people are black.
I don't either.
I do not vote because people are black. I vote because they're going to do something for my community.
Dr. Omar.
Yes, Patrick.
Dr.
Yes,
Omar, how are you doing?
All is well, my brother.
Man,
be careful on the road, ma'am. I don't like people when they talk on and type on the road now. I don't like it when they type and type on the road. You need to be careful. Smash it.
It's been a long time, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes,
so
sir.
looking at the, hypothetically, right? Who is the best devil that you can actually cast your vote for? Looking at,
I do not engage in the lesser of the two evils narrative. So
how do we participate?
Evil, it does not come in degrees.
How do we participate?
Evil is evil.
How do we participate in the or we participate in what?
We
yes.
Black people should do right. Organize ourselves into a black national union. Our votes be with all of our mutual consent, and we must pledge to one another that we're voting one.
Okay.
The black vote will be treated like go vote.
Gotcha.
And we put the National Committee,
Yes.
the Democratic National Committee,
Yes.
and we demand an audience with both candidates, our own convention, because we are not Republicans or Democrats, we are Africans.
Yes.
They will come and give us an audience in our community.
There you go.
And we will ask the questions that are relevant.
Yes.
And that's
I would agree with that.
Yes.
I would agree with that.
We will argue, we will reason, and we will choose a candidate, and that candidate will get every single black vote who has joined our National Black Political Union, and we will promise them before November 5th,
yes,
you are going to win because of black people. And if you
that his phone is terrible. It's probably the reception. Something is wrong with my reception as well. I don't know. I have a conspiracy theory. Here's my conspiracy. Somewhere along this time around election year, all electronic things go haywire. Just enough. I might be exaggerating a little bit. It's like, first I get signal, then I don't get any. First I get no signal. I get very little signal. Then it goes away. Then it comes back again. It's just, I might be a conspiracy theorist here. I don't know. Wait.
Liver will not get a single vote the next election.
Yeah.
That is how you do business. Not telling black people to vote out of fear, not telling black people to vote out of identity politics, not telling black people to vote because
I wish we could pull something together like that in this next 3 months. We should have pulled that together the last 3 years. Last 300 years, we should have been doing that. But I don't know if we're going to be able to do that in 3 months. I think that if we did that, we could make a lot more demands on any politician on any level.
Nothing is possible with
Anything is possible. Anything is possible. What the hell are you talking about? You can do a lot within 3 months. Are you kidding me? Oh shit. Bridge coming with the 10 ball. Oh, I feel so blessed. I didn't think this was gonna happen. Oh my God. Here comes the song.
That's ISO. Rack it up, I gotta build up the bank to make me a safe house. Shake it up, she got her hands on her knees and she bringing the cake out. Smoke it up, I got some gas, some packs, I'm up in the greenhouse. Ball it up, I'm with the gang, we taking shots off the rebound. Fucking my post to say now, I've been humble too long, yeah. Tell them all to stay calm, yeah. Tell them all to move on, yeah. Fucking my post to say now, they be lost in the sauce, yeah. Took a loss, that's your loss, yeah. Had to get my point across, yeah. Heard them lanes was talking now and we don't pay that no mind. Didn't need to watch and all that. I'll be.
Thank you, my dear, for the $10 ball. I'm gonna get me a thing of coffee. I feel so energized. Love you, my dear. Thank you so much. Let's continue.
The Most High.
I agree.
No, Robert David is impossible with the Most High. Don't say we can't do it.
Okay.
Don't say we can't do it. Yes, we can do it.
Dr. Omar, Dr. Omar, you see the statement you just made really is the option that I agree with better than not voting at all, because the issue that I have is that we do not have a bargaining chip as Black people. We don't have a platform. There's one thing talking about it, but there's another thing actually organizing ourselves. Because what you say right now, it needs some leadership within the Black community to reorganize ourselves and create a platform and a bargaining chip to actually move our vote to not only Black candidate, but anybody who actually speaks our voice.
Well, you know, Dr. Umar, I use your analogy.
You know how many platforms are out here on YouTube? What is this dude talking about? I mean, I'm not gonna get no disrespect here, but there are thousands of platforms. Hell, I wish you would use mine, but I'm not a politician. I would rather him use D. Durrell's. Most likely, I would want him to use D. Durrell's. I would want him to use somebody who's a little bit more politickish than me. I say this. I look at the results after. Let me see. I think I was completely serious. Real quick. I didn't become real serious about it until I believe 1916, I believe, when Obama got in office, and I voted for him for the whole 2 terms. And I didn't know what politics meant until this man came along, Dr. Umar and Dr. Clark Anderson told me a whole storyline about this man. And I said to myself, what did I get myself into? So it's all smoke and mirrors. It's all smoke and mirrors. What's going to bring us out the cuff, in my opinion, is organization. But we're too up in arms about each other, you know, man versus woman, woman versus man. You're too feminine, you're too masculine, you too this, you too that. You ain't got no man, you a baby mama, you a baby father, you kiss my ass, all this, da 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 da. We're too separated from each other. I can only pick a handful of you, right? I can pick like Trish, I can pick KJ, I can pick Bridge, I can pick D, I can pick Mike, I can pick Nightish, and I can bring them all in one accord, but this is a handful. I need like a community of people. See what I mean? I mean a community of people to make it work. I'm not looking for a leader. I'm looking for leadership. There's a difference.
I think it may have been even last week that you say that Philadelphia is the fastest growing and the #1 gentrified city in the whole country. And I'm saying to myself, the community in which I live in, every time I look around, I see other people walking around in my neighborhood, and it's more and more and more and more and more of them. And I'm saying to myself, pretty soon, they're going to be the majority in my neighborhood. And when it comes time to get whatever scarce resources are available through the city, they will vote for what they want. They will press their politicians to do their bidding. And while we stay home and don't vote and don't participate, we'll be sitting by and saying, what happened? We don't got no more power. I don't know what happened.
He's overlooking the point, Baba, that black people don't have nothing to vote for. What is Kamala? Those very same immigrants, Baba David, that are flooding your neighborhoods. Who's bringing them there? The Democratic Party, Joe Biden, and Kamala Harris. Who is bringing the migrants into New York, Chicago, and I soon hear Philadelphia? Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and the Democratic Party. So on the one hand, you say vote for Kamala Harris, but you just gave me a reason why she's causing problems for black people.
In my opinion, I might be guessing wrong, but David and I guess this other guy, I can't see, this other guy right here, they're Democrats. They want to vote democratically. And he wants him. It kind of reminds me of my relatives back home in Lansing, Michigan, where we would argue for a whole hour about why I don't vote for a Democrat, no matter who it is. I say I pretty much had given up after Obama. That's just stupid. You can call it whatever you want. It's my vote, my choice. My vote, my choice. You can vote for whoever. I never said not vote on anybody. And newsflash, breaking news, you don't have to vote nationally. You don't have to vote for a bigger candidate. You could just vote locally. You can vote for your local candidates. You can vote for your mayors, your governors, your legislators, shit like your councilors, shit like that. School board administration. You can vote for people like them. As long as they're listening to you, as long as they're talking to you, as long as they're looking at you eye to eye, and they're shaking your hand, and you have a real political conversation with the people who are locally to you, right? That's all you could ever ask for. These people here, They're not going to listen to you. All they're going to do is tell you, go vote. Look at Ice Cube's situation. I'll wait.
We got to go to the phone line. I know a lot of people want to talk about this. We'll go to the phone lines and talk to, is that okay? Brother, okay.
Yes,
how you
sir.
doing today? Brother, okay, in Delaware. How you doing today?
No, this is Brother Bahoke. I was calling you from Delaware County. We spoke before. Dr. Umar knows me. How you doing, Doc?
Peace and Pan-Africanism, my brother.
How you doing? Okay. The reason I'm calling is because of this. I don't have a dog in any race with this particular election. And we've had this problem before when Barack Obama was running and everybody was saying, well, he's black, even though he got a white mother, but they didn't bother to look at what his policies were for both candidates. We don't vote collectively as, on a logical and, on a logical level. We don't do that. We're busy focusing on emotion, and just bringing people in because they're black. And we got to look at Kamala's track record. How many brothers has she locked up when she was in California?
Were they criminals? Were they criminals that she locked up, or she locked up innocent people?
Some of them wasn't. Some of them wasn't.
Do you know that for sure?
From my research,
Okay. I'm just saying because people know, well, she locked up all of them, but they was criminals.
All right. Now that he's gonna make a part 2 tonight. He's gonna make his little part 2 tonight. I ain't gonna have the energy to care because I got so much to do and so little time. So here's this. I'm gonna be nice for you two because I can literally cuss this dude out for days.
To participate in
Fair use.
In fact, I was discouraged from doing it. I'll say it that way. Okay. All right. Thanks, D.
A no vote is a vote for him. Because any vote we take away,
I don't know.
Somebody else going to vote for him.
I hear what question. Here's my question. Here's my question, Bobby.
Yes.
Whether a no vote for Kamala Harris goes to former President Trump or not, here's my question to the American African community. What have we been promised from Vice President Kamala Harris that would require us to vote? What have we been promised from former President Trump that will require us to vote? What I see going on, Bobby David, is I am seeing dysfunctional identity politics where black people, many of whom claim that mixed race Africans are not black, but the same Negroes who will say,
see the disparaging now, Negroes. Here we go. Yeah, I know. Let's get into that for a second. See, we don't want to hear about all this other stuff about what the politicians promised. Umar, what did you promise to the people?
He didn't promise you not a damn thing. Talking about you. He didn't. I would often say this. Who are you? He didn't promise you shit. Not a damn thing. This dude look white as hell down at the bottom. You're not going to the school. You're banned. He made sure of that, and guess what? I'm for damn sure gonna make sure of that. And all you other people who vandalize, you know what? You're responsible for vandalizing the school. You are the one responsible for vandalizing the school. You are, because your influence is sending everybody else who hates Umar to go to that school and to vandalize it for whatever stupid ass reason. So I'm gonna hold you responsible, bro. I hope I'm going to text him my damn self, and I'm going to tell him to sue you for slander. slandering his name.
That's the thing about Umar. Everything is a distraction. He don't want to talk about FDMG. He want to talk about everybody else and their mama and disparage everybody else and their mama, call black people Negroes and coons. If you guys look up coons, that's one of the worst racial epithets in
that's what you are. And I have documents and receipts myself to prove it. I just don't feel like getting it in today because once I get done with this, it's pretty much wait until next Sunday. I'm done. I'm done for this time. The only reason I'm recording right now is because I could not miss this opportunity, because this wasn't a rage. I mean, everybody's in rage from the destruction of our people to the killing of our people when it comes to police brutality, to now we're voting. Who are we voting for this year? It's always they want to fill our life with so much rage and so much emotion. I get the emotional part. I get it. But it's just, you got to put boots on the ground. You have to put boots on the ground, and you got to fight for what you believe in. But I would love it for us to just do it on one accord. The N word is the most worst slang word, not coon. He don't care either way. He's expressed it plenty of times before. Either way, but when somebody calls him out, he'll start cussing and you son of a bitch. Yeah, man, who the F you think you talking to? Who the F you think you talking to? That's how he talks. That's how he talks. So I'm not shocked. He's him and all the AFWs, including the Umar sector. Yes, I said it. And anti-Afro Spengali of the biggest hypocrites on the fucking planet.
United States history. And there's all kinds of racial epithets that we can put together a list of. There's racial epithets that were used against black people. There's African American people, whatever you want to call them. Right? Negroes at a certain point. At a certain point, we were called colored. Well, there's all types of racial epithets.
But yet we catch you saying the same shit years ago. Godly. And then you have the nerve to bring up information, man, for what? For what? I want you and E5 to get into a debate. You would lose that debate, sir. You would lose. You're lucky he don't have time for this little petty shit that you're doing. Your hundreds versus his thousands. I would say damn near millions of followers. I would actually say he doesn't need you. You need him. You need him, sir. That's why you continuously doing this. But you get upset when receipts are shown about you, and then someone holds you accountable, sir. It's time to hang the shit up.
And coon is one of the worst, if not the worst. Well, it's not the worst. It's one of the worst. But Umar uses that at every turn. That in and of itself should make people say, wait a minute. This guy, So, but see, like I said, with Umar, he would like to focus on what everyone else is doing. But if you guys look at what Umar is doing, what does he do? Nothing. Except disparage black people.
That makes no sense. So you mean to tell me he's done nothing for black people? He has not. lectured. He hasn't lectured anything in the past, what, damn near 25 years. He hasn't put any work in the Black community for over 25 decade. A decade, because I don't know how a decade goes, but let's just say a decade. Fuck it, I'm gonna be bold just to say decades. He's put in decades worth of work. What have you done? Let's put in a poll of what you have done, sir. Sir. Didn't you beg for money to move out of your place and wherever it is in Arizona to come to Utah? Didn't you do that, sir? Sir. Didn't you call the police on a couple of boys because their radio was loud and you were bitching and moaning and complaining about things like you were going on live? We had it. Do you want me to get Tiffany on the phone? Because we don't want to take it back. We don't want to take it back to the Tiffany Thrift days. We don't want to do that. We do not want to do that. Luckily and unfortunately, she's doing her own thing and she's running her own business. Shouts out to Tiffany Thrift. That's my girl. Mwah, love you.
But let's get back to it, Rashad. Umar, what did you promise? You promised that you were going to open up the school and the school was going to open on
September. Wait. Before he gets into the number, I want everybody to remember this number because it's just so funny. It's so funny. Everybody remembers the year. Remember the year.
September 11, 2013. And I can pull the
September 11th, 2013. When did he say he was going to open up a school? When did he say that? When and where? Where was he lecturing? Was he lecturing or was he just pandering? Is what people will call it. What I want to see. Give me the receipts.
Receipt and show it. That's what you promised.
Yeah, come on.
And then you started collecting donations specifically you were collecting donations for other money for other stuff too that was associated with FMG prior to 2000.
Gifts.
2014. But in 2014, in April of 2014, you started collecting money for the St. Paul's College that you were going to turn into a boarding school for boys and girls, mind you. And that was going to be FMG, which is what you promised back in 2010.
Oh my. I have to give him credit because that was correct. Because it was St. Paul's that he wanted to open up. It was going to cost like up to $2 million or something like that. He really wanted that school bad, but unfortunately he couldn't afford it. So he ended up moving on from that. And he started searching for other schools. What's your point?
And then from 2014 until 2019, you continued to collect money, and you raised. You were already at the end of 2016. You were already at $1 million, but then by the February of 2019, you spent $400,000 to purchase these trap bundles up there in Wilmington, Delaware. And here we are 5.5 years later, and not one child has been educated, and you still collecting money for this fake phony school scam. What did you promise? See, with Umar, everything is a diversion. It's either a projection.
You forget about the deductions, right? The deductions because people like you were calling into PayPal. You were calling into PayPal saying he was extorting. How could he extort anything when he couldn't even touch the money? You can't touch the money. You have to show and prove receipts before you can put your hands on the money. You have to show receipts. They aren't going to allow him to do that. You stupid. See what I'm talking about? Riding. That's all he's doing is just riding. riding Dr. Umar like a damn rodeo show. Oh shit! 19 years of this. 19 years. 19 years of riding Dr. Umar like a rodeo show.
Or a diversion. But when it comes to politics and when it comes to male-female relationships, Umar, he speaks so, when it comes to raising children, he speaks so poorly about everybody.
Because he uses the word Negro, Negropeans. That's his biggest problem. I swear to you not. He says this because you don't have the inability to speak other than your audience, which is controlled by AFW, you freaking, I wish I could say that word, and not the one with this K. I wish I could say the other word. But to keep it on this, you don't have the inability to speak to other people in the community about these very same things because you're not a politician. You said it yourself. At least Dr. Umar knows enough to know when it comes to positions like this. No one ever said he was a politician. No one ever said he was a Republican. No one ever says he was a Democrat. No one ever said he was a businessman. No one ever said that. I often said he was a bad businessman because he used to make bad decisions. Not anymore. Some say it's a little too little too late. I say screw you. I say the time could have been perfect because according to not Thea Fidel, what am I talking about? The lady from ADOS. I forgot what her name was. She says it takes up to 4 to 6 years. 4 to 6 years if he's going to do it by his lonesome to develop a school like that by himself. But he's not by himself right now. He has help. I wish it was done a little bit sooner, but it could have come at a better time. Now all it is just the opening.
And he talks about what politicians promise. And
man, you right on time. Yvette Cordell, correct.
Yeah, he don't want to talk about what he promised. You guys realize this guy, he's collected over $2.7 million by now.
Lies.
And I'm talking about specifically since the St. Paul's 2014. We're talking 4 years later. This guy done collected 2.6, 2.7. It could be closer to 3 million by now.
Lies.
And what does he have to show for it?
A building that he's fixing up on right now. That's what he has to show for it. A building that he's fixing. Let me see. He spent a lot of money on the vax, which people were complaining about the vax. People seem to forget about that. Fixing the gym because the gym was full of water on the inside. You had to get that fixed. Had to get the inside fit. You had to get the inside of the water remains of the bathroom. Got that fixed up. Got that painted up. Went to the big school over there. Got all that stuff taken out. They somebody set the roof on fire. Had to deal with that. Somebody broke into the school and stole some stuff out of the main hallway. Had to deal with that. People that he had paid in the past. I mean, what else and he had to change. People had paid in the past, tried to screw him over, had to change the locks. I mean, what more can a man do? What more can a man do but black people? Excuses, excuses. Open up the school. Screw you. Why don't you go to them white schools over there and proclaim that there are black schools everywhere, even though I can't name not one black person who has mainly opened up a top 5 school. Can you name anybody who has done that, sir? No, stick to what you know.
So, Umar, what did you promise? Anyway, let's go. Thank you for Rashad.
That mixed race Africans are not black. We'll call Kamala Harris black. So make up your mind. And she's not even 50%. She don't have a black parent. She has.
This is something I don't understand. Why does it matter?
Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you have not yet become a member of the We-On-Loc Nation channel, please, I beg it. No, I ain't letting on. I ain't gonna beg you to do anything. I'm not lending honor. I'm not lending honor. I'm not none of these fools. You come here, you come because of love and respect. It would be the same if I were to come visit at your house. I show love and respect for you. You do the same for me. This is why we're here for.
Matter. And maybe someone in the chat room can explain to me, why does it matter that Donald Trump is white, or why does it matter that Kamala Harris is black or not black? If it's supposed to be about the political process, why would, quote unquote, the social construct of race even matter? I know one doggone thing. When Trump was in office, I know that the economy was not as bad as it is today. I can tell you that. Last month, I spent $2,400 on food, just food alone. I wasn't paying $2,400 a month on food. And again, let me just say this, that normally it wouldn't be that high, but for whatever reason, I don't know what happened. This month, I said, if we can get under 2,000, I'll be happy with that. But I know one thing, that back in the day when Trump was president, I wasn't paying that. Same thing with the gas prices. I don't give a shit if he's white or black. I really don't care. And again, I'm someone, and I'll say it, I don't vote. Never voted for the presidential election. Never have. Should I do it this year?
What the fuck? Why are you? Then why are you talking? Why? You talk big shit. And then we hear that you don't vote. You don't vote, but yet you're bitching and moaning about one singular person not holding his vote, but yet you don't vote. That makes no sense. Riding Umar like a rodeo show. That's what you're doing, is riding Umar like a rodeo show.
Sure, maybe. I could. But the point that I'm making is Kamala Harris not being black or being black, why is that a factor? Why does that even matter? I don't see why it matters.
For the simple fact, oh my God. How it's not why, it's not the why. It's the how does she become black now when it matters? She's black now, but when she gets in the office, she could be Indian or Asian that day. She's never proclaimed her blackness, not one time. Not one time. We all seen the photos. We all seen the videos. I can produce videos. I can produce receipts all day, every day. Shouts out to Jason Black and the Black Authority. Shouts out to Professor Black Truth.
Donald Trump being white, why would it matter to me? I don't get it.
Jesus.
Now, there's other thing I could say. I know that Donald Trump, he has some very horrible things to say. They're very misogynistic about women. He's talking about how you're supposed to grab them in their private parts, something to that effect. Okay, that's what I would look at more than whether or not he's white or not.
He's done more than that, but I look at people I look at people of the politics and who's endorsing them. If he's being endorsed by a white supremacist, I'm out. If when it comes to politics, if he doesn't have reparations under his belt, I'm out. Same thing with the other party. It's high time we just, all the gloves is off when it comes to these two, but you don't know shit about politics, and you're getting mad at the one person. Never mind.
But that's just me. Okay? Why does it matter that Kamala Harris is black or not black? Anyway, here we go.
The one thing Kamala Harris has always been: fearless. As a prosecutor.
First of all, I want to say.
Hold on, Baba. She has a mixed race parent. Her father.
Yeah, listen, hey, Joe, you ain't got to tell me nothing. Listen, I remember. I remember when we had just a few kids and it was young. We can get away with. He talking about quadroon.
Hmm?
This is white supremacy talk.
What?
Have any of you guys studied like the history of race? It's a social construct, not a scientific fact. In fact, if you guys look at Blumenbach as one of the main people, there was three. I can't remember the other two guys' names, but they had to justify the enslavement of black people. But if you go back and you look at racial classifications, there was only, and I've talked about this before, there was 5 classifications. Ultimately, it came down to colors. Okay, but at some point they would say things like the Africanoid or something like that. And that turns into black. Then there's red. That's that's Native Americans. There's white. That's the Europeans.
No, we don't.
There's
care.
They would say things like you're a descendant of Ham, who was cursed by God with black skin. But I don't get that either. How is black skin or dark?
Let's shut up, dude. Shut up.
A scholar, and if you listen to scholars, and you listen to anthropologists, they don't use the construct, the social construct that we call race. They don't use
bullshit.
Her father is half Jamaican African. Mm-hmm. She is a quadroon. She is.
Hey, I can't believe he's saying that. Damn, Umar.
She
is a quadroon. This guy, he's such a this is called race. This is racism. No, black people can't be racist. I had someone even. No. You go look up the definition of racism. Racism is on the spectrum. We ain't gonna get into that right now.
No. Look up the word quadroon. Look up the word. I'm gonna look it up. Since your punk ass ain't gonna look it up. You said quadroon. You said quadroon was racist. Whereas racist has nothing to do with an individual. It's a group concept. Stupid ass. Define obtoroon. Is that right? He is a. Let me look back real quick.
You talk about race. Racism is on the spectrum. It's not talk about race. Hey, I can't believe he said. Sorry, white people. I'm sorry.
Race parent.
First of all, I want to say.
Hold on, Baba. She has a mixed race parent. Okay. Her father is half Jamaican African. Mm-hmm. She is a quadroon.
Quadroon. Define quadroon. Each of fourth quarters of a circle. I hope I got the definition right. What are other meanings of quadroon? No, I think I got it wrong. Could somebody look up quadroon for me?
Hey, I can't believe he's saying that. Damn, Umar. But I remember he had a sister. She was older, and she was a real big fan of this football team, the Cornhuskers. But I remember
he doesn't talk about
shut
shit.
up, you. I was just being mean. You know how kids can be real mean.
Sucker don't even talk about
or demoralize them because of their quote unquote race. And I was wrong to do it then. You know, it's just that these days a lot of people still hold on to this.
Yeah. Whatever.
There's all kinds of stuff is pulling up. Let me see. I'm spelling it wrong. European ancestry as distinguished from a person of color. That's crazy though, because of enslavement of African people here in the United States of America. All of us got some European ancestry. All of us.
Still, even if that were the case, Lenon, you are still nationally, you are either African, European, Chinese, or other. African, European, Chinese, or other. We're talking national. You were to call yourself a black man, or African American, or a Black American, or Kenyan, or blah 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 blah. You are considered Africa. Let's continue this nonsense.
See, African American,
those are statuses, by the way, that you're talking about. You know, the ones that you fill out the little form. Let's just say you're filling out an application, right? You fill out an application, and on the bottom it says your race. That's your status. Your status is African American. African American? You're a white American, a Black American, an Indian, an Asian American, and then there's other. Those are statuses, sir.
It's not a race. African American is it's really what it is. It's an ethnic group.
Jesus H. Christ.
See, the truth is that Black isn't even a race. It's a social classification.
Ooh, where did you
go
learn
genetic,
that?
just based on genetics?
Don't do that. Don't do that. Anyway, I wonder where he got that from. I wonder. Ding, ding, ding. I told you, riding Umar like a rodeo show. I wonder where the hell he got that from. Black is not a color. It's a social construct. The same thing as white, a social construct. I don't believe in colorism either. So they had to put you in some category. If you look up the word black, it means pale. Get out of here.
And the truth is that, listen, here in the United States of America, if you have ancestors that were enslaved, all y'all got some European ancestry in you too. All right. Mulatto historian.
Due to what? Grape.
This term is meant to describe someone of mixed African and European ancestry. In Louisiana, it is even more specifically describing someone who is believed to be of one half African ancestry and one half European ancestry, and one half European ancestry as being mulatto. And then griff, I've never heard this, refers to a person who is believed to be 1/4 European descent and 3/4 African descent. Alternatively, it could refer to someone of African and Native American ancestry. Wow. And you know what's really crazy about this when I think about it though is that,
by the way, I wouldn't look up Google too much because that's what he's doing is Googling. I wouldn't look up Bing. I wouldn't do Bing, or I wouldn't do Wikipedia too much. What is the science? Tell me the science of it. Tell me the science. Nobody can tell me the science of it.
All of these, I don't even know what to call it, subgenres of race, DNA testing wasn't even present back then. How did they come up with this shit? It just goes to show you none of this is scientific. DNA testing is not even present. So how do you know? See, here's a quick example, we'll get back to it. There's African American people, or quote unquote black people here in the United States of America, whose skin color is lighter than some of the white people that I've seen. Did y'all know that? So then how, therefore, will you be able to determine how much, genetically speaking, let's say we're going to take them back 300 years ago, 250 years ago, genetically speaking, how do you know how much genetic material that they have coming out of Africa or coming out of Europe? You know, even though if you go far enough, it's all coming out of Africa, but that's besides the point. How did they know? See, but socially speaking, they can still classify people because of their social status. They didn't have nothing to do with genetics. They didn't even have the technology back then to look at DNA. They didn't.
Where did he get all this from? I wonder. Right. And it's not just him. It's not just Umar that he's riding. He's riding on Professor Grip too. He's riding on Professor Grip too. I remember a long time ago, was this the same guy that was riding Professor Grip's job? Shouts out to my elder Professor Grip. Let's go.
Have it. People really think about this. So the idea of a mulatto
is I don't, but many of them reject mixed race Africans, but they're qualifying Kamala Harris because they need to believe in her so badly. Here's my last.
Yeah, but you see how slick Umar Johnson is? Umar, what do you think though? See, Umar clearly he makes a distinction that she's basically, Umar is saying that she's not black because she's quadroon, and that means that she's only 1/4 black. So she's less than what black would necessarily be. But then he flips it around and says, you know, some people, they think that way and they don't think that she's black. So what you're saying is, as a Pan-Africanist, that she is black. The real question is, why does it matter anyway, right? But see, the only reason why he brings up quadroon is because he wants to.
It's not what he thinks, it's what she said. It's not what she thinks, it's what she said.
Disparage her. He wants to make her less than in the eyes of other people. But see, it shouldn't matter to him as a quote unquote Pan-Africanist because he's supposed see, you know, let me tell you something that's really crazy about Umar. He'll say things like, quote unquote, they're a mixed race African, but they're still black. Well, listen, if they're still black, why do you even bring up them being mixed race? Why would it see it's racist? In essence, it's racist. See, racism is on the spectrum.
What was the word that everybody, biracial? Everybody likes to bring that word. Listen, I don't have a dog in that fight. Mixed race, biracial, they're pretty much the same to me. I might be wrong in that one.
See, if you think that somehow a person is more black or less black, it's just on the spectrum.
He's named the one that benefited black people. And if we cannot name the election cycle out of the past 14 presidential elections since Dr. King's assassination, if we can't name the presidential administration that changed something systemically for the American African people, why then are we emotionally rallying our people up to be exploited once again?
Hey, we didn't lose you, did we?
No, he's using that Walmart Wi-Fi. he outside of.
See, slander. Yeah.
McDonald. He using that McDonald Wi-Fi. The person that I would vote for, in general. Okay. Now if they saying some other shit like, you know, we're gonna make it so that women can't work again. I'll be like, you know what, fuck you. I can't vote for you. I would like to get the economy turned around, but I can't support that. You see, but that would be the primary thing that I would focus on is the economy because it affects everyone and it has affected everyone. It's not just black people. You have a right.
I'm not worried about everybody. I'm worried about people like me. See, that's your problem right there. Worried about everybody else. But ask, if you care so much about everybody else, why don't you ask the people who whose family member got murdered in the past couple of months, vis-a-vis Sonia Massey and Sade Robinson. And then there's others. So are you still for everybody? Because they're not for you.
Right to, and you have a right not to. Doesn't make you any less American, if, in my opinion, if you stand or if you sit. Doesn't make you any less. By the way, let me just give you guys, before we move on, thanks everyone who started cooking. Thank you for being here.
It's here! It's here! It's here! Oh my god! Oh my god!
What's wrong with this?
Okay, Bob.
Okay, we gotta take.
See, now Umar saying it doesn't matter, but obviously it does matter because he's the one bringing it up.
He had a black mother. Kamala Harris doesn't have a black mother. She has a mixed race father.
Oh, so it's the
she is not mixed race.
It's the female lineage.
The quadroom.
So it's the
I can't believe he's used this terminology. The black mom makes you 100% black, not 50%. What? I don't.
Shouts out to brother Rizza.
I don't know. I'm confused. He called Bob Marley. Man, that's crazy.
Look at the super chat.
Frederick Douglass, what was Frederick Douglass then? I know one thing, he was a bunny hopper. He was a bunny. You named the school after a bunny hopper.
After 56 years of marriage, who cares? After being married, and you're talking about a Frederick Douglass. Frederick Bailey was married to his wife, his African wife, for 54, 56 years, somewhere around there. And she died of old age. Came out Frederick Douglass, marrying some white woman. Give or take. Give or take. But you have no excuse. You have no right to talk about Frederick Douglass. No right. See, I just recognize all these individuals. All identity withheld, I recognize him. He's AFW. All these cats in here are AFW. Come on. Not worried about this shit.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that because I don't, I'm being mean. I shouldn't do that. He's a quadrilateral.
All right, Miss Nebraska. I swear Americans are slow as fuck. Yo, Kamala race is an issue because she never identified as a black woman. By the way, wasn't she the one that said, well, she was asked the question, what is a woman? Is she the one? Is she the one that somebody asked her, can you identify as a woman? It's like, what is a woman? You don't know what a woman is? Really? You don't know what a woman is? You don't know what a woman is. And you want to vote. You want to vote for her? Go right ahead. I ain't telling you not to stop. I ain't telling you not to stop. She identified as a black woman because 2 years ago, in order to gain black votes, of course, she knew who Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube were back in 1991. When other countries called us stupid, I now understand why. Like, for real. Ain't nobody give a damn about black people. It's set in stone. I mean, look at the rate going on right here with police violence. Look at the rate that it's going now. Every single year, not just every election, but because every election is 4 years. Every year we have to deal with this. Now, granted, some of it is caused by our own people, but the majority of murders happening because of white supremacy, race soldiers. I don't like calling it that. I just like calling it white supremacy because it sticks. And DEI is a new code word for nigga, by the way. DEI is a new code word for nigga. I didn't know. Wait, hold on. Let me write that down. Wait, I gotta write this down. DEI is the new nigga. Oh, it's the new nigga. What? I didn't know that. It was the new nigga. Now, is that with the hard ER or just GA? Is that with the hard ER or the GA? Which one? Or does it make a difference? She always identified as an Indian. We all know that, but he's too stupid to realize that. And she wants to make it. Oh, it's with the hard ER. Okay. I guess.
Someone says she has no black hair. Listen, that's fine. I don't really. Okay. I mean, I don't see why it should matter. I really don't.
Because you're stupid.
And Patrick had a question for you as well. Do you believe in voting or just not voting for president?
I believe in voting when I have a reason to vote.
Okay.
I had to say this, man. Again, no disrespect to these two, but they just sound just like my peoples back home. It's like, why you don't vote? People fought and died. No, they did not fight and die. They were forced to die. Why do you think they were put on? Why do you think your ancestors were put on the front lines? To die. They didn't even want to give them weapons. When you talking about they fought and bled and died. If you don't get your old, you know what? I'm gonna leave my family alone. I love them. I love them to death. But sometimes they get on my nerve with this politics shit.
That's good.
My vote is so important and valuable to me. I do not waste it. I don't vote because I can. I would liken that to walking into a supermarket and buying stuff just because you have money. Who walks into a Galleria mall? Have card just because they have money. I think that's the definition of just because they can is ridiculousness.
So it
might as well the main strategy used to influence black people to vote is fear. That is how they get black people out to vote. The number one propaganda point that you hear being pushed by the Democratic Party plantation slaves is if you don't vote for Kamala Harris, Trump win. That's not a reason to vote. I'm going to vote because Kamala Harris has promised to build. Side in our black community.
Yeah, but Umar, you can say that, but see, you prey on black women anyway. Let's just set it out. The big deal is that she is pandering to the black United States citizens, so it is a slap into the face of voters to be played like, yeah, but they always do. That's called politics. Everyone does that. That's not extraordinary. Extreme, I don't know how old you are, but I remember back in the day, y'all remember Arsenio Hall show? I remember that Bill Clinton got up on there and started to play the tenor. He was playing tenor saxophone. He was playing blues. Anybody remember this shit hit the one? And I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah. And all politicians do that. Anybody remember that? And it didn't even sound good when I listened. I go back and listen to it. I was like, oh, they just had him practicing for about a month. Okay. But he sounded horrible. But black people ate that up. Plus, he's on the Arsenio Hall show, and they all do that. That's not extraordinary. They start talking black, sounding black. They get their hot sauce off, start pouring the hot sauce on anything. They be putting it on bread. They be putting it on rice. They put it in their drink. And now black people fall for it. They're like, yeah. And then they always make the same promises anyway. But they all do that, Freeman. They all do that. Y'all, anybody remember that? Someone said Eric B. Eric B. You crazy. Yeah. Nora Jones, that's Ravi Shankar's daughter. Ravi Shankar's other daughter.
Sorry, I had a phone call. I hope you didn't miss much. Let's continue with this. But do you get it? I mean, I could go back to the original. I'm gonna go back to the original in a minute. I'm just gonna show. As a matter of fact, I will, because I just wanted to show you this side of Lenon's personality. It's like the boy can't handle himself correctly. And again, riding Umar for 19 long years. 19 long years. You know, maybe your wife wasn't satisfying you the way that she should. You know what I'm saying? And you had to ride Umar like you know, put a saddle on him. But I'm trying to tell you, he's heterosexual. He loves him some chocolate thunderous women. I'm telling you. Not the one that was trying to rush the stage. Not the one that was trying to rush the stage, but that's my boy, you know. But we need to have a talk. We need that. Me and Umar, when he comes back in November, we need to have a talk. And how many people want me to see if I can get an interview on the spot? It's going to be the last one. It's going to be the last one. If I can get the last one in, how many people want me to interview Umar? Put a 1 in the chat if you want me to interview Umar again. Put a 2 in the chat if you said, you know, you're good. You're good. Put a 1 in the chat if you want me to interview Umar. All right, back to this.
An audience.
We are going to go over common pieces of career advice that job seekers get.
Yes. Okay. First of all, and here we go again. I think we approach politics too much from a personal preference standpoint. Elections are business, and it is the business of choosing who you want to carry on the business of the country.
That's a question I just asked you.
Business of oppression.
Let her finish. Okay.
Hold on. And the business of liberation. So when you say which one, it's not about which one. You meet with both of them. I don't have any loyalty to Kamala Harris. I don't have any loyalty to Donald Trump. They not my friends. Both of them have been in the White House for 4 years, and neither one of them did anything for black people. So this ain't got nothing to do with personal preference. This is business. We have to learn to take our emotions out of this. This is not emotional. We must engage in non-emotional strategic thinking. Let me say that again. Non-emotional strategic thinking, not emotional politics and identity politics. I want to meet with both of them. Both of them. We just had a situation in Chicago where 3 sisters representing the National Association of Black Journalists met with Donald Trump. It was
Hey, Helen, how are you?
an absolute failure. It was an absolute failure. Those sisters were emotional. That whole conversation was more about protecting Kamala Harris than really asking him critical questions. I didn't hear nothing about mass incarceration. I didn't hear nothing about miseducation. I didn't hear nothing about reparations. What I saw was 3 emotional black women who are going out of their way to try to humiliate the former president in order to endorse the current vice president. That's not what you do. We all know what Donald Trump believes. We already know what Donald Trump feels. Ask him about the issues that matter to black people. They did not do that. They were emotional. We will get nothing from either party if we keep on engaging in emotional identity politics.
I'm really glad that we had you on here. I was cautious, but I say, you know, you have a very strong voice, like Patrick said. You know, you're very influential. As a matter of fact, you know, that is why I say doesn't matter to me whether I agree with you or not. Whether you agree with me, I don't care. We can be disagreeable. I'm gonna still love you as a very influential brother. And I've known you, and I've known you since you know, since I remember when you and Tyson Price was just coming up. And I say, these brothers got a lot to say, and I still to this day want to hear what you got to say. And I don't care if I agree with you or not. But we have a caller on the phone line from Germany. We have Rick wants to chime in on the conversation.
How you doing, fellas?
Good.
Good day, Dr. Umar.
Peace and love.
I got a simple question for you. Did Kamala Harris sponsor or help put together an anti-lynching law while she was a senator?
The first anti-lynching bill in American history that was approved by the federal government was passed a few months ago while Kamala Harris was the vice president. There was no anti-lynching bill in American history that existed before that one got passed. So if you're saying, did she, you know, get us an anti-lynching bill while she was whatever she was before she came to the White House? Absolutely not. We just got the first anti-lynching bill in the history of this country, which is weak, very soft, doesn't really hold anybody accountable. And we got that a few months ago under President Biden and Vice President Harris.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rick, for tuning in. So now, I know that you say we should not be concerned necessarily about who wins, but somebody's going to win. And if you listen to Donald,
what's the difference? He keeps harking on that. Again, no disrespect, but you keep harking on the fact that somebody's going to win. So what? So what? Is he my president? Hell no. Is Kamala my president? Going to be my president? Hell no. I would rather have I would rather find Eddie Murphy. I would find Eddie Murphy or dig up Andrew Dice Clay to be the president of the United States before I let Kamala Harris become president. That's just my take on it. And I'm just kidding.
he intends to do a whole lot of damage, especially to black folks. And that's why I said, well, maybe she will. Believe she ain't telling us what she's gonna do, so we should believe him and not.
Did you see that picture, Baba David, that Kamala Harris tweeted from her Twitter account a couple months ago, where she said President Biden and I are absolutely committed to promoting minority businesses, and she had about 10 or so people in the picture. This is a tweet from her account a couple months ago. I'm gonna text you the picture.
Okay.
And she said, the president and I are absolutely committed to supporting minority businesses, right? Something to that effect. And guess what, Baba? There was about 10 people in the picture. Not a single black person in this picture of minority businesses. She already told you she ain't thinking about no black folks. She's been told us over and over and over again. She not thinking about you. Yes, She's going to bring back diversity, equity, and inclusion. But she's going to bring it back for her East Indian people. She's going to bring it back for Latinos. She's going to bring it back for homosexuals, for Chinese, for Asian.
I disagree with you, Dr. Umar. This is the first time I will disagree with you. This is what I want to say, Dr. Umar. I was talking to somebody yesterday in Delaware, right? They have a lot of these small business loans in Delaware. And a lot of the minorities in Delaware could not benefit from that loan. But I know that they have the same in Philadelphia here. And I know that many people from Philadelphia area who are minority business owners, at least, are beneficiaries of those loans. So what I'm trying to say is that, see, when the federal government sends such monies to the local governments, it's about us, those at the local level, really working, making sure that those monies go to where they belong to. So yes, about freaking businesses. So we talking about how
minority black African businesses.
Yes.
Where are those businesses? He's saying, where are those businesses? Where are those big businesses? Where are those big banks that he's so-called talking about? I don't see him. I don't see him. The black-owned banks are slowly but surely disappearing. Where are these so-called black banks? Can I take a loan out of these black banks? I'm getting so sick and tired of people saying there are black banks everywhere. I only know of one. And it's in LA. It's called One United. All right. I banked with One United. I don't know what happened, but they don't have a One United here in Nevada, but they have a One United in LA, in California. Right. So and these millionaires, there are black millionaires everywhere. Where? I'm not talking about your particular LeBron James. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the so-called millionaires of the YouTube world. Where are they? Where are they? I can talk to a six-figure brother all day, every day. People here in the state of Nevada, they make money. They make the hell out of some fucking money. But where are the millionaires at? I only see white millionaires. I only see white and Asian millionaires here in the state of Nevada. Where the black ones at? Where they at? Where they at? I don't see them.
The thing is that this is presidential election, but the issue too is that what are we, the local governments, actually local leaders, doing to make sure that when we get those monies, we are actually sending those monies to where they belong to?
I don't know.
Minority anything that's not black. Are you aware that minority includes anything that's?
Oh yes, it's not white. It's not only about color.
Women.
I know it's not only about color. Mm-hmm. Yes, I know that it's not only about color. It's about the
other than white.
Yes, yeah. So it could be anybody.
You're aware of that.
Where's One United here? I want to see a One United here in the state of Nevada. I don't live in Miami, babe. I don't live in Miami. I want one right here in the state of Nevada where they got Mexican banks and white banks. I want one here, damn it.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
When you say minority businesses, right? Do you realize that they can give support to minority businesses and not a single black person gets anything? You do realize that, right?
Yes,
for sure.
It's happening.
We need to qualify our demands as American African people, not as minorities. Stop letting Kamala Harris and Joe Biden and the Democrats.
Do you know how far LA is here from Vegas to LA? That's a 4.5 hour drive. Speeding. That's a 4.5 hour drive. I ain't about to drive all the way to LA. Excuse me, I'm gonna drive to LA. No, it's 4.5 hours. I drive fast. I drive very fast. But I am not about to drive all the way to LA to cash a check over in One United. Come on.
Machine lump us in with all non-white people because those other non-white people cannot stand black people any more than Caucasians. We are not minorities. We are not people of color. We are the American Africans who built this country.
Give me some gas money.
We have the ultimate match
Give me
between a
some
track
gas
star and
money.
self-free rent reporting, and the loser gets a chilling ice bath.
Country, and we should be treated as a separate, unique, and distinct group of people as they do when they deal with Native American affairs. Ask Kamala Harris, is she going to create a department of American African affairs? Ask her that. If she says she will, I might vote for her. Tell her to create a presidential cabinet level position for American African affairs with a federal director whose job is to look after the best interests of the American African people. Ask her if she's willing to do that. I promise you she won't.
Well, you know what? I agree with most of the things that you say, but I don't hear you saying ask Donald Trump nothing. You say, you keep saying, you say it now, it's the same thing, but in your presentation, it seems to be anti-Kamala.
No, sir, that is incorrect.
Okay, and I agree.
Ask both of them, but most black people are not thinking about Donald Trump. They're thinking.
They're Kamala supporters. I get it. I understand it.
Thinking about voting for Kamala Harris.
But what I hear. But what I hear is you. In fact, we have somebody that always said that Dr. Umar is just a black female basher, and I said that definitely is not true. He is uphold the integrity of black women. That's just how you know them.
She identifies as black. I can show you 5 interviews of Kamala Harris being called South Asian, and
just as he said that, you know what I was thinking? How many ladies? How many? Numbers wise, how many do women outdo men numbers wise? Because I just had another theory in my head. Again, I might be wrong, but if Kamala Harris has a majority of women voting for her versus the majority of men who are voting for Trump, we're in trouble. We are in trouble. It all depends on what white people do. It all depends on what white folks do. Because, boy, we have a majority of black men voting for Trump, and you have a majority of black women voting for Kamala Harris. I just thought about that. And the majority of women outdo the men by a margin. I don't know.
What would you consider? She doesn't want correct the interview.
What do you consider?
I'm not only South Asian, I'm also Jamaican African or Jamaican American or American African. She is a proud Southeast Indian woman. She has a right to be a proud Southeast Indian woman, and nobody's going to manipulate my emotions.
There, you said, I can't get you today. I treated my staff to a dinner with their greedy behind. You're loved over here, my dear. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Handle your business. Handle your business. Treat yourself. Treat yourself.
Or my consciousness to vote for a black woman who's only black when it benefits her. And I'm not voting for Donald Trump either because he ain't got nothing on my plate. How you going to pass a Hispanic Prosperity Initiative at the end of the George Floyd protest. That was the insult to every American African. Donald Trump executed approximately 13 people while he was president of these United States. It was the most federal death warrants signed since slavery. And 5 of them were black men whose death warrants Donald Trump signed in the final days of his presidency after Joe Biden was already elected but had not yet been sworn in. That white man killed black men, 2 of whom were thought to be innocent, and their lawyers were trying to get a stay of execution from the Supreme Court, but it got denied, and Donald Trump signed those black men's life away. So I'm no more for him or her. I'm for black liberation. I'm for black justice. I'm for black equality.
I have a
and
question for
nobody
you.
from the
I'm not surprised, Miss Nebraska. Clearly, I am not surprised.
Party,
We're gonna take a break.
plantation slave regime is going to make Dr. Umar vote for anybody until you show me what they're going to do for my people.
I have a suggestion for you.
But Patrick, you got to hold up, Patrick. We got to take a break.
Yeah, I got a
Come back.
suggestion for you.
We got to take a break and I have some questions. So
I got a suggestion for Dr.
All right,
Omar.
but we're going to take a break and we come right back.
With that being said, Bob,
It's like I said. Everybody was telling me there's 100 of these black banks all disintegrating. Century disintegrating. One United disintegrating. Why is that? Why is that? Why are black people giving up their businesses? Why are black people giving up these TV shows? I think it was better when Bill Cosby tried to own the own network. I think we should have pushed him a little further to that finish line. We would have been the most, because quite frankly, I'm getting sick and tired of Tyler Perry. I'm getting sick and tired of Tyler Perry. Love the man, love what he did for a lot of people, but don't get into what? But anyway, my aunt just texted me. I'm really getting irritated at Tyler Perry, and I'm glad what he did with certain black people, but your movies are flopping, dude. It's the same old storyline. You need writers. Apparently, Hollywood is stumped. Anyway.
But David, if there's anyone listening to this conversation right now who either lays tile or carpet or knows someone who lays tile or carpet, please text my phone. I have had some brothers come by and give me some estimates, but I'm looking for a better price because, we don't have a lot of money. So, I'm looking for somebody who will work with us a little bit and not just make it all about capitalism. But if you know of someone who can help us out, some of the rooms are really small too, Bobby David. These are not all big rooms. Some of the rooms you can probably finish up in like 45 minutes. Some are small, some are big. So if anybody knows anyone who wants to make a couple of dollars laying tile or carpet, please text my phone, 215-989-9858. Again, that's 215-989-9858. I'm even open, Bobby David, to somebody showing me how to do the tile, get me started, and I can just finish up. You know what I mean? Even if they say I ain't got the time, Doc, but I'll get you started and show you how to lay the tile.
Yes, indeed. I do a lot of stuff around
people into themselves. See, people, what I say he raised consciousness. That's
where she was asked.
AI is everything, and so that we have this unlimited surface area.
What was she going to do for black people when she got elected?
They all say that. Every mayor we've had in Philadelphia said the same thing. I'm not the mayor of Black Philadelphia. John Street said it. All of them say it. Barack Obama says the same thing.
Said we're not going to do anything. She said we're not going to do anything just for black people.
Those
are her exact words. Her exact words. I am quoting her. We are not going to do anything just for black people.
So it looks like she was talking. I mean, see, Dr. Omar, you were talking about not us being emotional, but it looks like
you're defending white supremacy. You're defending white supremacy, and you ain't getting me one reason why we should vote for her yet. Neither one of you have given me a single reason why black people should vote for Kamala Harris. You want Donald Trump, but you ain't got a reason for this.
But you don't say that. You don't say either or. We got Wes on the phone line on Southwest Philadelphia. Good afternoon, Wes. Wes said he ain't in this mess.
Can you hear me? Good afternoon.
Yes, I hear you.
I can hear you.
Okay, I wanted to direct my comments specifically to Dr. Umar, if I may. And Dr. Umar, as a black man who lives here in Philadelphia, I am an elder, and I simply want to say to you, I appreciate the fact that you speak, act, and walk as a black man, and that you do so unapologetically, because there seems to be a concerted effort across the country right now to force black men to stand in line, to get in line, and to sort of get on board with everything we're being told. You're asking them, they're not reality right in our faces as we're being deprioritized. Oh boy, you're being devalued, and you're being pushed aside by other people who have not made similar contributions to the United States. They're being given things in your face. So thank you for standing up.
Thank you, Wes, so much for that. We got somebody else on the phone line? Thank you. Okay, who we got on the phone line? Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon.
What's your first name? Where you calling from?
My name is Mary, and I'm calling from Jersey.
Hey, Jersey.
And I'm sick of listening to Umar. Umar, let's talk. Okay? First and foremost.
As Dr. Umar, it's the Dr. Umar.
Well, then act like a doctor and stop criticizing everybody. Bottom line, people who
non-emotional, strategic thinking.
Hater. You are a black woman.
You're emotional, my sister. We can't win being emotional.
Dude, you criticize everybody. I ain't never seen you do anything for black people.
Hey, we're not going to attack our guests either.
Calm down, my beautiful African.
All right, caller from New Jersey. We got your point. Thank you so much.
Calm down, Queen.
Because, you know, I don't want nobody attacking our guests. Like I don't want nobody attacking our callers. And you have seemed to be mighty emotional yourself today, Dr. Umar. We all are, because this is a very touchy situation. We see it differently.
Everybody's emotional right now. Everybody's emotional at this time. It's a very happy time. But if you gotta take, how do I say it? At this point in time, we need to make a decision. We need to make a decision because, let's just face it, Asians are not going to do anything for you. Mexicans ain't going to do nothing for you. Whites definitely ain't going to do anything for you. What you do is what James Brown has been doing it for quite some years before his departure. He got it up out the mud. And he organized. He was the hardest working man in show business. We can be the hardest working people in the state of Nevada, in the state of Georgia, in the state of Texas, in the state of Florida, the state of Michigan, in the state of Ohio, California. If we all voted on one accord and settle our petty differences a little later. If we learn to do that, we'd be in good shape. But
action. I am
see, Dr. Omar is using semantics now. You are using semantics now. You are passionate.
Emotional, passionate.
Yeah, when black people say something about somebody a day emotional, but you are passionate about it. Thank you. We love you too, Dr. Omar.
But we needed this conversation because I want people.
Lady screaming at the top of her lungs, "Stop criticizing! You're a hater of women." How? First, he's a hater of women. Then he can't stop talking about women and cookies and stuff like that. Which one is it? I don't get it. I mean, he loves his black queens forever, snow buddies never. To you are hating as you hate women. You're a sexist. How? Whoa, when it comes to, I guess we need to a reincarnation of Martin Luther King from back then. I think we need one of those. I think the world would be much, much better, not safer, but much, much better if we had a Martin Luther King. If we just had a Martin Luther King, it would be so much better.
You don't understand that. Again, I want to be clear.
Because guess what? Hey, Lisa. We would be so much better off because the world ain't ready for Khalil Muhammad. A reincarnation of Khalil Muhammad. A reincarnation of Malcolm X. I mean, there are others. There are other revolutionaries. I would say Nat Turner. If we can have a reincarnation of Nat Turner, hot damn.
Anything. What is this person still on the phone? But I'm still clear. I want to be clear. So if every black person stayed home and didn't vote, and you say, well, it won't make no difference in the end. But what if it does make a difference? What if Donald Trump gets in there and does a tremendous disservice to black people? Then what? You say, oh, we should have came out and voted.
No, I wouldn't have. Because guess what? What we fail to realize is when it comes to black people in America, the Democratic and Republican agenda for the American Negro is absolutely 100% identically the same. It don't matter who wins. You're going to catch the same hell regardless because we don't carry on our politics in a non-emotional, professional, and organized manner. They don't have to take us seriously because we are disorganized. So I don't care who vote for. You're getting nothing because you did not vote as a single unit.
Okay, let me ask you this. So, you remember the Affordable Care Act that Barack Obama presented? Did that help black people? Dr. Umar, you still here with us?
It's frozen
I
now.
would say, so the Affordable Care Act that they called Obamacare, I think that benefited black people a lot.
First of all, affordable care was for Americans. It was not for the black community. Stop it.
It was for them.
Stop it. Barack Obama's gay laws were for gay people.
We got black gays.
Obama's gay laws were for gay people.
They got black gays. It benefits black gays.
Stop it. Huh?
Okay, this is like it benefit black gays. It benefit black citizens of the Affordable Care.
How did somebody who's not homosexual benefit from Barack Obama's homosexual laws?
I didn't say I said it benefited the black homosexual.
Okay, but it didn't benefit. You are really.
No, Dr. Omar. Dr. Omar. There are benefits that we get from every law that are sometimes not directly. If we're talking about laws that protect anybody, any law that protects anybody in this country, it might not benefit you directly, but it will benefit you indirectly because the law is to protect people who are really suffering as a result of whatever they are. And so any law that protects anybody in this country
Man, I don't want nothing to do with any gay policies. None. 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 You're just making excuses.
We're talking about protection. If he does protect them, then we all benefit from it indirectly.
No, we don't.
Well, so Dr. Johnson, so what do you suggest we do then as a mass of Black people?
If we're not going to get organized in strength to prepare for this election and get some demands and have some meetings with both candidates, and I believe 3 months is more than enough time to do that. But if we feel that we can't, let's organize for the next presidential election, because it'll be here in 4 years. Time is...
Okay, but if we don't get together in these 3 months, then what should Black people do?
Our lives are moving quicker and vote when they have nothing to vote for is insanity.
So I ask you, so what should Black people do then?
Get organized to hold them accountable prior to November the 5th, or get organized to hold them accountable prior to November the 5th, 2028.
I agree with that. But I'm saying if they don't get organized by this November, what should Black people do?
Vote for Kamala and
I'm asking
Democrats.
Dr. Johnson. If Black people don't get organized by this November, what should Black people do?
Let me give you a real quick future.
Vote for blue.
We don't get organized for this election. The next election, Black people will be completely irrelevant, and they won't even discuss you.
Oh, wow. So I'm saying that if he gets elected, there won't be no more elections.
Pretty soon.
How about that?
You still ain't gave me a reason why we need to vote Kamala Harris.
You didn't give me an answer. I answered you. If we don't get organized by November of this year, what should Black people do?
Straight answer. Please get a straight answer.
I'm asking you for a straight answer.
It's a problem. It's a freaking problem. Hotel. Hey, Umar, how are you? Again, people gonna vote for whoever they want for, vote for whoever makes them feel good. I'm just saying we should just put these people in their place because it's been far too long, and I think people deserves justice. I believe people deserve a better equality, not quantity. I believe people deserve, to get a fair shake in life when it comes to them economically. It's like, for example, I haven't had a real vacation in so many years. It's like each and every single year I get an opportunity, something goes up. Either the cost of living goes up, or it doesn't matter what it is. It's always something each and every single year, and the goalposts are being moved. When I went to the post office the other day, they were doing a survey. They wanted people to fill out a survey for, because the cost of rent was going up. That survey didn't do shit. So I have to believe we need something strong. We need something more, is what I'm saying. If voting for Donald Trump is going to get us to the promised land, I don't think it is. If you believe in his policies and his big giant packet, which I got to read that packet that he had for Black people, specifically for Black people. Almost sounds familiar, like what Ice Cube tried to do, but he ended up emulating it, and now it's his package. These people is just so slick.
You sound like a politician now, man. I asked you a question.
I'm a Pan-Africanist. I will never hold on.
Okay, but I asked you, if we don't get organized by November, what should Black people do?
There's no other option, Baba David. We don't have options. Organize or die. That's options. Organize or die.
Commit suicide, right?
Organize or die. That's your options right there. Organize or die.
So the focus is more on the black people to organize themselves than the candidates, right?
Of course, my brother.
Yes.
Self-determination.
There you go.
Candidates don't want you organized.
There you go.
Nobody wants organized black vote. Listen to me, fellas.
And
Nobody wants an organized black vote because an organized black vote can hold candidates accountable. They don't want us to get organized. Y'all can't see that? They don't want you to get organized.
I can see my producer tell me we got to take a break. Yeah, see, I got to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to continue the conversation in the studio with Dr. Umar Ifatunde.
Well, you have it there, ladies and gentlemen. You have it right there. And I'm not saying what you would do as your right as a voter to vote for a specific candidate. I'm not forcing you to do anything. I'm just telling you to do the right thing, because it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be the same thing. It's going to be a little change. Just because they give you, listen, just because they give you $5 doesn't mean it's 500. Does that make any sense? Just because they give you a $5, let's just say they give you pennies on it. Let's just say they pinch it for pennies. They give you little pennies here, penny there, whatever, right? That means they're giving you chump change. While they're giving everybody else dollars, they're giving everybody else millions and millions of dollars. They're giving you chump change. You're not going to be able to compete unless you have a good high-paying job that pays approximately about $28, $29 an hour, because everything is going up. I mean, we appreciate the extra $3 or $4 when it came to $20 an hour. That's the below average. $20 an hour is the below average, and I still don't believe that some of these people are still paying like $16 an hour. That's just dumb. $16 an hour ain't gonna get you but a tiny little apartment with barely enough room to function. $20 an hour is like a little bit of breathing room. $23 an hour is a little bit of breathing room, because they tax that shit. Give me $28, $29 an hour, and then I'll say, all right, cool. All right. I can move out the apartment. I can get me a house. $30 an hour, I'm good. $32 an hour, I'm great. $45 an hour, shit. That's a vacation. That's 2 vacations right there. Because everything is just going up based on your living expenses. And it's crazy out there. As far as Lenon is concerned, get the message. All right, everybody. I got some things to do. Thank you for being with me. As always, I will be with you next Sunday. Definitely. Promise. This time, next Sunday. Y'all go have a good time. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me. Peace. C'est la vie.